Oakley dokley, girls and blokleys. Hello and good afternoon. It is a-boy-named-Sous coming at you live straight from the Big Potato. Doing a little chill stream on my day off. We're just gonna be hitting up Disco Elysium again. Getting on another 2 hours or so. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. We had just been in the church, and we had talked to the little Spider-Man guy, Crabman, whatever you want to call him. And we'd started talking to the
Yes, what is it?
lady over here, the programmer. But we didn't finish the conversation, so we're going to do that before we go any further. How do you feel about anodic dance
What?
music?
I hate it.
Okay, wow, that was quick.
Maybe
Why do you
I'd
hate
have
it?
to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
Right. How do you feel about a club for anodic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
What do they want to
Take a
build
guess,
then?
why don't you?
I heard they're also planning on building a drug lab.
Bingo! That's exactly what they're up to.
Ah, wonderful.
Lieutenant whispers, admiring the embellished pillars and the spectacular architecture in the
Now
church.
this house of worship is also going to be a drug lab. Always something fascinating happening in towns.
Mind-altering substances are a vital part of the Anodic dance club scene. Or the Anodic club scene. It helps to bring the community together.
Yeah, what I said before. Not possible to appreciate that kind of music without being high as a kite. So that's settled. Great. No nightclubs in the church then.
She supports her chin on her hand, visibly pleased. About the 2mm
swallow,
hole
you mean?
again.
What about it? Great. Thanks.
Right, I want to make sure there was nothing else I could say. Well, she's not on board, but Crabman is. That's what Andre about the soonest thoughts. Now walk through over here? No?
The mother of humanism.
Just wanted to make sure. Alright, I think we found everything, but we're gonna double check. It came from the stained glass window. It still has letters on it, too. What are we talking about? Oh. Here's my flashlight. There it is. Just making sure. But I guess if we would have needed it, Kim would have probably said something. And I can't look at anything else over here, right? Doesn't look that way. Alright. I think we leave the church now.
The young man with the tape recorder acknowledges your return. When he looks at you, he squints as though you were the setting sun.
This is hardcore.
Say nothing. Still say
Hardcore is
nothing.
a mega.
Say
Internally
nothing.
coherent.
Still say
Hardcore.
nothing.
All right. Yeah.
He
Say
furrows
nothing.
his brow as his very large head traces the sublime, invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore. Ah.
He lets out an agonized roar over the feeblish, obviously not too hardcore beat below. So
Is it
hardcore.
though?
He stops dead in his tracks, tilting his head to the side. I was just thinking that a moment
One
ago.
mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life. Back to the heavyweight jam. Hardcore. 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 Internally coherent. All core.
He furrows his
Hardcore. Ah.
No, but seriously, I'm a little
The
worried it
question
isn't.
is, what is the question?
That would have been good if I had asked you a question, but I didn't. No, it's just
But there
idiotic.
was a question?
The club. True. Hard. Full. Core. Hardcore.
Okay.
Hardcore to the internally all core.
he furrows his
Hardcore.
The question is, what is the question?
Just answer
But
the
there was
question.
no question.
We're close. True. Hard. Full. Core. Hardcore. Hardcore to the internally coherent.
I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the Roiling Rags
Good morning,
hostel.
yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeko Kata. The place to be.
You said that before. Why is this Yekokata the place to be? What does that mean?
Kata is a hardcore place.
Yekokata is an abbreviation from the Gradian term, Zone of Ecological Catastrophe, an agricultural megaproject in the extreme southeast of the Gradian Isola. It involved cutting-edge approaches to irrigation and a completely new type of fertilizer. An intricate system of irrigation networks pockmarking the earth, intermittent seas of phosphorus mud, ripped tarpaulin fluttering in the wind. A pair of molten rubber boots also comes to mind. All in all, a truly hardcore place.
We're close. True.
Okay.
Hard. Full. Core. Hardcore.
But is it? I mean, really?
Yeah!
You can say yeah and say random things all day long, but the track still doesn't sound all that hard
Spitting
to
out
me.
lyrics since the day I was born. And the amount of lyrics I got is against the law. We're close. True.
Okay.
Hard. Hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Here comes
All
the
right.
night.
Just gonna keep on trying like
Big
every
cloud,
possible
true,
combination
hard,
until we
hardcore. Hardcore is internally coherent.
get something different.
Encore. All right. Yeah.
Please tell me what exactly
Gotta
are
get
you
the
doing?
people going. I'm the
What?
party boy. It's my job.
I think I'm also a
Two
party
on the
boy.
track. Watch your back. Watch out for the heart attack. Big cloud. True.
Okay.
Hard. Hardcore. Hardcore. Internally all core.
He furrows his brow.
Hardcore. Ah.
Is it though?
So hardcore.
What
It
is
is.
it? I mean, really?
The question is, what is the
No,
question?
but seriously, I'm a bit worried it isn't.
He frowns and then starts bobbing his head
The
back and
skin
forth
on
once
your
more.
back is crawling. For a second, you can't even hear the music anymore. There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, right next to the canal. Don't be alarmed. Everything is okay. He isn't actually worried. Everything is still super hardcore. What he probably means is, it could be even more so.
You said you were worried. What do you think is wrong with
There's
the music?
nothing wrong with it. I'm still in love with the hardcore.
He turns pensive all of a
Sometimes
sudden.
I just feel like anodic music is in its infancy, you know? For example, take this Arno van Eyck jam I've been pumping for the last months, and will continue pumping for the rest of 51. Isn't something holding it back from being hyper?
He thinks for a moment and then his expression
It's
clears.
like it's only ultra.
I think it's super hardcore, but you're right. It's not hyper hardcore.
It's only ultra
It
hardcore.
is, isn't it? I knew it. But how could it become harder core? I know the answer in my heart, but cannot think it in my head. If this is not hyper, how could anything be?
Sounds suspiciously like a question, and I thought the question was, what is the
No!
question?
This is the answer!
Try to think if anything could make it harder core.
What? Guys, there's something happening in his head.
As your mind works, the beat recedes from your ears. You hear your own blood pulsing through your head, nourishing your thoughts
them.
with oxygen. The rhythm is familiar.
Feel the movement of blood through
The
your
abstract shapes swelling in the foreground have done so in vain. This is a core matter. The answer in the double kick that moves the milliliters through your mind. The dark thud is the source of all rhythm, the inspiration behind mathematics. The hardcore.
Think even harder.
Oh yeah! He's doing it!
But you're not. This is almost certainly a matter that surpasses the limits of reason.
My imagination
I
fails
know.
me.
So does mine!
He laughs and
But
shakes
there's
his head.
something else that hasn't failed you.
I can't help you with this right now. I need something else, something
Yeah.
extra. Are you a thought
no
reader?
nation, but transnation! No war, but class war!
So you're not a thought reader, you're a
He's not
communist?
a communist. It's just something he likes to yell. He picked it up from a tape jockey at the Elysium. She was a communist, though.
Yeah! With the rebel yell!
Does that mean you're a
Don't
thought
be
reader?
lunatic. Of course he isn't. Jermaine here just yells random things. Odds are, sooner or later one of them will come off as fault reading.
Yeah! Revolution imperative!
Unless you were thinking Revolution imperative right now. Anyway, I've had a similar thing happen with X yelling. I know what you mean.
You're right, I wasn't thinking that.
Hardcore superstar!
Tell me something else, Egghead.
Yeah!
Is your real name Jermaine?
Hardcore! Jermaine Egghead!
Basically, yes it is.
Why are there lungs on your belt
Lungs
buckle?
are for love!
Why would lungs be for love?
When Dolores Day was anointed innocence, her lungs started glowing through her body. For the world loved her, and she loved it back. Yeah!
Really?
I think so.
That doesn't sound like a thing that would happen.
But that's what everybody saw. Explain it as you please, but it doesn't really do to just deny it ever happened.
Okay, maybe your body can tell you what Arno van Eyck's jam is missing. Just make it harder core.
You know it in your lungs where the pressure should vibrate, in your heart that's alone, and in your solar plexus where the hits should land. So does every chordate animal.
Needs more
What?
bass. The young man makes a sudden move like he's about to turn the volume down, but that would be ridiculous. And a melody. A good melody is what makes a song really stick, so that you can't get it out of your head anymore.
Wow, okay. We should start with the melody. But where would we get that stuff from?
I don't know, I was thinking
I'm
you would
sorry. I don't know anything about Nordic music. I'm just the party boy. I get the people going and say it's hardcore.
He feels ashamed he can't be of more service to the future of dance music.
know. Okay, I'll look into it. In an official capacity, it's up to the police to make sure that the beats go
The young
harder.
man falls silent with appreciation. He even tries to contain his smile, as if it could hinder your investigation.
Basically, what you need to find here is a tape with some banging music on it, so that Egghead could use it to remix Van Eyck's jam.
Yeah, maybe that street talker across the pawn shop has got some tapes to sell. That's just an idea.
There is a hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, right next to the canal. A reel of magnetic tape is caught in its branches, like bronze ribbons blowing in the wind.
Feels
Does
cold.
it?
Rue de Saint-Ghislain. I've been
Oh,
there.
I know this. I can tell you where it is.
St. G is the boulevard before the canal bridge. The one that takes you to the whirling in rags and the industrial harbour. It's got the lanterns and the...
I knew that. I could have said that.
and the mosaic sidewalk.
But it's all blocked with that stupid traffic jam right now. Anyway,
Anyway,
Shake it off.
that's all yours to figure out, Copman.
Copman!
Yells Egghead. Alright, goodbye.
Alright. Here comes the night.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
He looks excited. The tips of his hair are sharp and white. The bleach has consumed almost all of the toothbrush on the mirror in front of him. About the church. I checked
And?
it out.
What happened?
I talked to the crab
Oh,
man.
man! Who is he? What did you think?
He gave me this odd lecture on alcoholism before rambling on and on about mother's
Really?
love.
Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
Just preaching and praying from the looks of it.
no matter. Is he gonna be a problem?
Yeah, Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we gonna do about him?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
Actually, he told me he wouldn't mind the
I
nightclub
don't
at
know,
all.
man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Don't worry, I don't think he really gives a damn about you or anybody
I guess
else.
it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light. Yeah!
Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes? Did you see her?
I was using the mainframe when Suna, the former lead program of Fortress
A
X,
programmer?
appeared.
That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
She did not like the Enotic Dance
What a
Club idea.
pity. That's my favourite thing in the world. And she doesn't like it at all.
He drops a hammer back into
A
a
shame.
toolbox.
What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Unity! Dance!
She made it very clear that she won't leave until her own project is
And you
finished.
can't just evict her?
No, I won't evict her. We have to come up with a different solution.
Look at you, Honor Man.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist! Coexist!
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music?
She absolutely does not. Really, truly despises
Egghead
it.
cannot believe what she just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
Perhaps if you drop the drug lab, it might make it easier to convince
oh,
her.
man. But the drug lab was like an integral part of getting the club going.
For me, it was my favourite part. Chemistry's great. Besides, imagine all the drugs we could do if we had our own drug lab. I mean, anodic music is great and all, but drugs, they make you feel really good. When did you last feel really, really good?
Excitement bubbles up in you. Maybe you should blast some of these drugs right here in this tent.
Never. I've never felt good in my
But
entire
that's
life.
exactly what drugs are for. Exactly. Time to expand your mind.
I refuse to throw her out, but I can try convincing her.
Excellent. Good luck, my friend.
He smiles wide like a replica of his friend with the large
Goodbye,
head.
officer.
I'm starting to think I fucked up by selling that filament memory or whatever.
Hello again.
Yes, what is it?
What if you didn't have to leave? I talked to Andre and he wants to make it
I don't
work.
want to make anything work.
She replies, her expression unchanged. Hold on, you don't want to make anything
Yes,
work?
anything. I don't want to make anything work.
It's not the anodic dance music that's made her bitter. It's the failure of Fortress Accident.
Are you bitter because your radio game project
That's
failed?
right. If we couldn't get our Welkins to happen, I don't want anything to happen. Ever again.
Something strange shines
There's not
in
a
her
trace
eyes.
of irony in her voice. She means it.
Okay, we got a 97% chance. That means we'll probably miss it. Convince her to cooperate with the Ravers.
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
Listen, about your research, you mentioned earlier that it's not going very well. Maybe I can help with something?
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She looks up from her work, disoriented. But if I could help you finish the project, then you wouldn't have to live in a church next to the Boom Boom anymore. Just think about
She
it.
thinks about it, a glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery. It touches her hair.
Alright. Bring me the game's offside copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and
no.
fetch it myself.
By your old workspace, you mean the studio of Fortress Accident in the Doom
Yeah,
commercial area.
that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady.
I've already been inside the Doom commercial
Good.
area.
Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it.
Where exactly is the offset
In the
copy?
giant ice bear fridge. I just told you. It has red glowing eyes. It's impossible to miss. You just need to get the offside copy from the ice bear.
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying,
Found a note from the ice bear fridge. It said the offsite copy had been moved to a safer place.
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory?
It said the offsite copy had been taken to a nearby ice cream maker. The note was signed by someone named Sulislav?
Zawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Sulislav Zawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offside copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous.
She crosses her arms defiantly.
And the heads. I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you? Thanks.
I found the ice cream maker but couldn't get it open. It's completely
It's
frozen.
getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out.
there's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing. Something she holds dear.
Why can't you go and get the filament yourself?
The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Whatever that means.
Why does she think you're part of the
Because
curse?
she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil.
Don't be too harsh. That's only because of their socioeconomic situation.
Yes, but she literally started praying for the higher powers when she first saw my Rame Civic. I'm not making this up.
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Semenine magic.
What is an offsite copy and why do you need
It's a
it?
backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She points to the glowing cube inside the
She's
machine.
making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament.
Alright, I'll go
Thanks.
look for it. She thinks for a moment and then reaches behind the radio computer and hands you what looks like an oversized pry
And
bar.
here's my Qualsung multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offside copy, then you can keep the Qualsung.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy to be parting with the Kvalsund. This glorious multi-tool makes a regular pry bar completely obsolete.
Alright. I really hope that that wasn't the thing that I pawned. Because I don't think that I can get it back if I pawned it. It was probably the thing I pawned. I should have known better. Relax, it's not yours. You didn't crash every MC in Revachol. Hopefully. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. Alright, those are the guys we got the spirit from. Not doing very well at chasing our suspect, am I? I know the commercial area is over there, but excuse me. Pretty sure that they were saying that the hawthorn tree or whatever that the tape was supposed to be stuck in was down this way. So I'm gonna take a quick little glance. I don't really see any trees over here, do you? You know? What's that? Okay. Okay, let's go up to the commercial area and hopefully we find the filament memory thing there. And if not, I am pretty sure that I pawned that shit. Sorry, I'm getting the flashlight out. Okay, that was the bear. Oh, where was the ice cream maker, though?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. No one has used it in ages.
I think it's over here. Right?
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Try to
You
crack
slip
open
your
the lid.
fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you.
Didn't Sona give you a perfect tool for this kind of job? The Kvalsund. You should take it out.
Equip the multi-tool by going to the...
Yeah, thank you. This is an advanced pry bar, a pry bar +2 if you will, built by Kvalsund and Vasa. The number of gadgets hidden within the frame of the yellow and gray multi-tool will stagger any technician.
This
All right, let's
orange
do it.
machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Okay. 42%, huh? Can we increase that if we take a little drinky drink? By clicking the wrong stick. Or is it because I already drank not that long ago? That's probably why.
This orange machine is buzzing like an
Alright,
old
let's just try it.
submarine.
And hope that we're lucky.
Ice groans and howls
Hey,
under the
look
strain
at that.
of your giant Gewalzund multi-tool until the lid cracks open. Blue electric lights come to life. Inside, on a frosty platform, lies an object, intricate and foreign, left there for a sub-zero beauty sleep. A filament memory with the words, off-site copy, written on its side. Disappointment washes over you as you stare into the almost empty ice cream maker.
What? No ice
A
cream.
scoop of ice cream would have been nice, yes.
The tin increase. Someone's stomach grumbles. The room feels very cold. Take the filament
You
memory.
gently lift the cube from its frosty bedding, careful not to damage it.
We should take it back to Miss Lukanen killed as soon as possible. I'm not sure how well unused filaments tolerate room temperatures.
Yes, but aren't you curious to know what's on the precious filament? There's a radio computer upstairs.
I'm not that curious. It's literally just an offsite copy of her game, right? Or whatever. Either way, I just wanted to get back there and give it to her and get the club set up or whatever. Alright, fine. I guess I am curious. I think if we go in through the bookstore, it might be quicker. We are gonna need the flashlight, though. Up the stairs. And there's the radio
Tiles on the
computer.
cube are still like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good evening. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Rapid Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the offsite copy?
I might have a password for the offsite
Good.
copy.
Please repeat the password.
Afterlife, death.
No, that's not it.
What does she mean?
Oh.
That's not it. What's the password then?
Oh no.
Received.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and the filament slides
take it out.
of its glow.
Well, I guess we just won't know. I'm glad I walked all the way back here. think we can unequip the flashlight now. What's that? Okay. Take it. Sorry, I'm definitely getting used to navigating this area. Okay. Here we are. Suna. That's your name, right? Damn it, I don't want to talk to Kim, I want to talk to her.
Yes, what is it? Yes?
I brought you the
Thanks.
filament.
Looks like it's the one.
She takes the filament, inspecting the metallic tape on its side. What's gonna happen now?
I'm going to print it out to see what's left of it.
She's already inserted the filament into the radio computer's core,
Wait.
ready to close the
No.
door.
That's dangerous. She shouldn't do it.
Wait, don't put it in yet. It might be dangerous.
No, it's not dangerous. Just depressing.
She starts laughing but stops almost immediately, her voice oddly humorless. How do you
I have
know?
a theory. Lindell was able to divine the anomaly's location from this broken copy. I want to repeat their calculation, only this time with better equipment. Watch. What an intricate display of failure.
The paper starts filling out with ink, soaking it in a gleaming blackness. Not a single line of data stands out.
Something's very wrong with that filament
Sorna
memory.
doesn't reply, her hands running over the printout. She's looking for something. For her morning star. Eyes scouring the millimeters.
Here. I found it.
She suddenly says, raising her ink-stained fingertip. Where?
Hold on.
She's behind the keyboard now, typing in some numbers that only she understands. The terminal beeps, and the light inside starts pulsing like a glowing heart. Still not sure it's a good idea, tinkering with the unknown.
Just give me a second. I'm almost...
She clocks up her
I've never
typing
witnessed
speed.
a programmer work before.
done. I've got it. I found the location of the anomaly.
There's joy in her voice as she bumps her fist into the air. You did it. You found the coordinates.
I found the coordinates.
She lets out a celebratory
She's
laugh.
beaming. You can feel it in your heart. Great job.
Oh my god, congratulations.
Thank you.
She yells
Time
back with a
for a
grin.
celebratory drink, perhaps. Just a thought.
Oh, what's gonna happen? So where is it? Where's your 2mm hole in the
There.
world?
In the swallow.
She points at the other end of the church where a group of water bowls form a ritualistic
Think you
arch.
can help me again?
She tilts her head, eyes sparkling.
I
Sure.
need you to go move those water bowls for me. I need to double-check my calculations.
What an interesting proposition. Truly a task for the intellectuals, solving the puzzle of water bowls.
Right, I'll go figure it out. I'm good at intellectual puzzles.
Figure it out? No. I don't need you to figure anything out. I've got a computer for that.
She pats
Just
the
walk over to
mainframe.
the circle and follow my instructions. Move the third bowl 2 centimeters to the left, and the fourth bowl 5 centimeters to the right. This should do the trick.
2 centimeters left on the third, 5 centimeters to the right on the fourth.
She only wants you to follow instructions, nothing intellectually stimulating. In this task, a child could do it.
What, you don't trust my intellectual capabilities to solve this problem on my own?
Come on. It's not about your brain. Even I couldn't figure it out on my own. Can you please just go and move the water bowls for me? Thanks.
Okay, but which one counts as number 1 or number 2 or whatever? You know?
It's awfully silent again, as if someone took... Measurements have been marked down around the bowls, each chalk-drawn line representing a centimeter on the floor.
Okay, move the third bowl from the left, 2
It
centimeters
moves
away.
like a ghost, without creating a single trace of sound. This task is an insult to your mental skills.
Move the fourth bowl from the left, 5 centimeters
Some
to the
water
right.
spills out of the bowl, wetting the floor. The lead programmer sends you an encouraging thumbs up from across the hall. Time to run back, or maybe walk. This is a sacred place, after all.
Yes, what is it?
I moved the bowls. It was mind-numbingly easy.
Great.
What's next?
Everything should be aligned now.
She stops, biting into her
Miss
chapped lip.
Meritor is hesitating.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Now the only thing left to do is to unmute the headphones. If we got the location right, we should then be able to hear whatever sound this anomaly makes.
Why did you have your headphones on mute in the first place?
Honestly, I'm a little scared.
Isn't it going to be just silence and
I don't
nothing
know.
else?
That's what I'm scared of. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, what sound does the nothing make? How can you even listen to something that doesn't exist?
She turns to face you, the mainframe throwing shadows on
What
her
if
chin.
silence is only what surrounds it, but the swallow itself is...
She grows silent, her face very pale in the cold light of electricity. You're right, we should be cautious. We don't know what we're dealing with here.
Maybe I'm just tired.
Let's think about this logically. Why would nothing be terrifying if it's, well, nothing?
Why assume that something that has no presence, existence, or qualities has to be terrifying?
Because it reminds us of death. And we humans tend to think that death is pretty scary.
Death
True.
is scary. You can't just start over again. Or can you?
It is scary. We just have to face
Yeah,
it.
you're right. Let's do it.
She puts on her oversized headphones, ready to press unmute on the keyboard.
Lieutenant takes a step back. And then, nothing. Nothing happens. As Sona Lokanen-Kilda presses unmute on her keyboard. Nothing but silence. You can hear some small animal cross the floor in the chancel. It's that quiet in the sanctuary.
Can you hear anything?
She doesn't answer. Her eyes closed and brows knitted together in a state of deep focus. One hand cupping the headphone.
Damn it!
Well? She lets out a loud sigh before tearing off her headphones. She's still avoiding your gaze. Come on, did you hear anything?
No, of course not. Nothing happened. Let's move on.
Despite her fear, she was hoping for something extraordinary to take place.
What do you mean nothing happened? Did you find the swallow?
No,
She rests her face on her hands, massaging
No.
her forehead.
my hypothesis was wrong. According to this, I should have heard something, if I got the coordinates right. Like I said, silence is only what surrounds it. But this is just another failure. Silence sounds like silence. That's all it is.
She raises her head, staring at all the machines that litter the church, cables coiling up on the floor like
You can
pests.
try on the headphones. See if you can hear anything. But don't get your hopes up.
Silence is silence? You're sure there's more to it? This can't be it. You should have a listen.
Put on the headphones. +2 because of the cold Mama Takwa. Oh, that's funny.
Everything disappears. You are draped in silence like a drowning man staring into his puny little headspace. And then the pressure changes.
What does
It
it mean?
feels like flying on an aerostatic, or when your ears pop, or like a subtle difference in the atmosphere, a weather change hanging in the air. What if the sound you're looking for is too low for you to hear it?
Suna, what if we just need a better sound
A
system?
better sound system? Alright, but where would we get one?
Suddenly, a rhythmic beat permeates the walls, causing a small patch of decorative stucco to crumble onto the wooden floor.
They should really allocate some renovation funds to this place.
Murmurs the lieutenant, inspecting the damage done to the arabesques. I don't know how you pronounce that. Arabesque?
No.
I don't know.
What they really should do is shut down the disco men for disturbing neighborhood peace.
Yes, but they could help with the speaker.
You mean the speed freaks?
She closes her eyes as more dance music invades the holy silence of the sanctuary.
Of course. The speed freaks. They have a fantastic sound system. And you think they would help me?
They would if you wouldn't mind them moving in with
I
you.
guess I could live through a week or two of peaceful coexistence.
Brilliant negotiating there, detective. As always.
Thanks. Great, I'll go talk to him
Sure.
then.
Let me know how it goes. Thanks, officer.
Alright, well, things are going pretty well. All things considered.
Yes?
Except that we still haven't done anything really to try to find this Ruby woman. Just been trying to set up a nightclub and stuff. So that's good. We're doing good. We're good cops.
Hi again. So, how are things going?
I'm here to talk about
Yes?
the church again.
What's the deal?
Good news. I managed to convince Suna she's okay with you guys moving in, but on one condition. She needs your speakers for
We
her
are
project.
grateful, Copman. You're an augury of a new era of anodic dance music.
The Speed Freak smiles, happier than he's ever been before. You're going to have to share space for a couple of weeks until she gets her research
That's fine.
finished.
We can manage.
He grins,
And-
excited.
What about the side business? Have you made up your mind?
You see, I really wouldn't give a shit, but I don't like the way they treat the girl. You know?
Oh man,
So fuck
really?
'em.
You're a complete ballbuster. Fine, we can make do. It's going to take us a bit to move our stuff inside. A couple of hours maybe. Come check back later. Let's get moving.
Alright, and she's gone. How do I zoom out? There we go. Guess we didn't look around more up here. So maybe before I go up further, we should check that out to make sure there's no evidence of Ruby or nothing. Okay, I don't know why it's not letting me do anything with that. Makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. Take the money. Thank you. Big wine canister. It's open and empty. Moonshine probably. Smells like a tasty fermentation. Careful there. These floorboards look rotten
The
and weak.
smell. It's awful and familiar.
Hold on, that is
It doesn't
awful.
help. You can still smell it. Keep it in now. Don't overreact. Breathe.
What
Don't
is
you
that?
recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be.
Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not
The
right here.
lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose. There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Examine
Two
the
empty
tear.
bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
Lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the
He
smell.
shakes his head with genuine sadness.
Examine the cigarette
Whoever
package.
tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content. Now, this makes partying look bad. Still, don't let it sway you. You're responsible.
Examine the
You
kebab
see
wrapper.
traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief. A
So
man
is this guy dead?
lies on the boardwalk, his limbs
Oh,
bent
no.
and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
Oh, fuck. This is the working class woman's husband.
Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted
Oh,
like
no.
a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on.
Lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. Two bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of
Lividity
life.
is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
Study the man's
He's
clothes.
wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no. This sounds terribly familiar.
Search his
You find
pockets.
some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Study the man
The
himself.
man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark.
Examine his
His
face.
expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all.
Oh,
He
no.
was just about to head home. The first step back home proved to be his last.
Oh.
That's what the chewing gum seems to point to as well.
Study the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here.
Examine the man's
A
head.
dry chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him. This is where he came out of himself, drop by drop, when he was unconscious. It took 3, maybe 4 minutes.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
No, just this one at the back of his
Seems
head.
like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Examine the
A
bottle.
0.75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us.
He looks at 2 other bottles forgotten near the coin-operated viewer. Examine the chewing gum wrapper.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall. The
Okay.
blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario, even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
In a ditch off a road below the 881, he thinks. A young father. Then he shakes his head to make the memory stop.
Step
The
back.
entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Who is
Looks
this
like
man?
one of the locals.
I know who it
You'd
is.
have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south the way you
That's
came.
just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A dead working class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is.
We know who this is. It's a working class woman's missing husband. That on the boardwalk.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
He looks at the bundle of flesh and rags lying on the ground. The leather jacket. It matches her description
The
perfectly.
bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband.
He nods and then points to the ring on the man's left hand. What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
You think he was
Oh,
drunk?
yes. Some symptoms of acute
What about
alcohol
alcohol
poisoning
poisoning,
would
liver
have
failure?
definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
What about the kebab?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Someone should be held responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's
They'll seal
dangerous.
this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
He smiles sourly.
It does
Right.
seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
What should we do
From
with
where
him?
I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
We found him. We finish it.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema. Let them know we are taking the case. Death by misadventure. He slipped. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward.
Okay, I'll be back in like less than 5 minutes. I have to switch my laundry over really quick. Sorry about that. I will be right back though. Hang tight. Keep the bots company. Okay, he's back. Sorry about that. Man, I'm really bummed about this. With working class husband being dead. I don't know what I was really expecting, but I don't know. I'm really not looking forward to telling the wife. Yeah, it makes me really sad.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
Look at the backside.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55 211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours, 900 to 1800.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Put it away. Alright, well we haven't inspected this leopard bodysuit. I don't even remember where we found it. Leopard pattern garment washed up on the coast, buried between rocks and ice. Damp smell arises when you bring it close to your face. Looks dangerously feral, as if you should think twice before getting closer.
This is a men's size L, leopard patterned unitard with short sleeves. There are bits of seaweed stuck to it. It speaks to the animal inside you. Slow and steady, boy. You know how to handle this. Drop it now. This thing will eat you.
Wait, am I in
Can't
danger?
you feel the hairs on your arm and on the back of your neck standing up? Your heart rate races through the roof. Your pupils are the size of marbles. This is irreversible peril. Yeah, but why does it taste so sweet?
Feel the material between your fingers.
Despite the time it's spent in the water, the garment itself is surprisingly silky. The leopard spots are slightly textured. The garment label says it's composed of 85% polyamide and 15% elastane.
Where did it come
The
from?
wind blows through rocks and reeds. Days spent in the salt water have washed off any clues of its origin. The gradient irbis, or common snow leopard, is native to the Ohota Mountains in Grad. Weighing up to 85 kilograms, it is the apex predator of its ecosystem, though extensive poaching and habitat destruction have reduced its range significantly in the last 40 years.
What should I do with it?
Run, you idiot. There's only one thing left to do. See how it fits. Just know that once the leotard goes on, it never comes off. You will change irrevocably. But don't you want to feel different? It can be a secret that only you know.
Fuck it, try it on, but only for
You
a moment.
slip from your briefs into the leotard. It's very tight. You've never been cradled so firmly before. Putting on the garment feels like stepping into a warm summer lake. The silky warmth engulfs you.
Yeah, this is the type of animal I
Your
want to
fingers
be.
run down your pectoral muscles, your abdominals, your hips. It's impossible to tell where you end and the leopard begins.
What
The
the
dried
fuck?
sea salt chafes against your soft flesh. Again, once the leopard comes on, it's never ever coming off.
So do we spend the rest of the game in a leopard pattern bodysuit? No, we that'll be for a different playthrough. Rip
You
it off.
tear yourself free from the leotard and hurl the crumpled mass into the corner. It's someone else's problem now.
Yeah, we got the fingerless gloves. This is the only pants we have, I think. Yeah, I like having all of the different bonuses from the different, like, clothing we can wear. I like mixing and matching. I didn't want to be stuck with one thing for the rest of the game. As funny as it would have been. Could even out our perception, I guess. Good old calf-length cavalry boots. Mount that horse and ride into the night. Heel comes in handy too. Definitely makes you some good 5 centimeters taller. But could it be that it's also making you sharper? More perceptive to your surroundings now that you've gained a new perspective? I'm gonna look absolutely ridiculous. Could up our visual calculus a little bit more. Oh no, but we've got to change our pants. I forgot we had these jeans, the god-ass jeans. Obviously you need those instead of the little tan pants we were... Yeah. It's not even a choice, you know? Those shades on. Okay. I think that we're good. Sorry, I'm just kind of checking out the different things we've picked up. Okay. It's funny that we're in the middle of this depressing discovery of the working class husband, and I'm over here having a crisis of whether or not I'm gonna wear a leotard for the rest of the playthrough. Stop messing with the point viewer and hold on to something. The wind is so strong. I've already looked in there. Already looked there as well. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Tomorrow is just a whisper
Looks
away.
like tomorrow never came.
Lieutenant raises the collar of his bomber jacket. Step
Above
closer.
the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Why do I feel like I know this place?
Indeed, somehow you knew it was here. An urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light. You felt it before when it rained in Martinez, and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling persists. It has been in you ever since.
What is this
Some
building?
sort of industrial ruin? I don't recognize the name of the company. R&D used to mean research and development. It looks long abandoned.
Could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical ruin over there, or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Oh, wow. Just no chance of getting that, huh? But we may retry it. Fuck it.
Suddenly, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down or gone behind a corner. You only hear distant waves washing the coast. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb.
She could be anywhere. How do we find her?
Do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay.
Lieutenant sighs and then gets a hold of
She's
himself.
probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. I think there's people west of here. We could ask them.
He looks to his right and cups his ear.
Indeed, you hear what sounds like two men arguing where the lieutenant is pointing.
And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
What was I even attempting to do?
Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there in the dusk hour, with your hands fallen to your side. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas? A prayer of sorts? To Revachol?
And if that fails, if we don't find
Then,
her,
if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
he looks behind him at the dark red box crumbling across the chasm.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast. Buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet and cold.
Okay. The fence blocks the path, no way on from here. Really? Gonna get stopped by a fence?
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Try to see
Dripping
inside.
water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside?
No. I won't even try. You know,
He takes his
I
glasses
had a
off.
partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
This
Really?
partner of his, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk.
Can you still shoot
Well
that?
enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
Well, I'm 10 out of 10. Remember when I shot that body down? That was really lucky. Can we not walk down this way? Okay, weird. It was like stopping. Sometimes I need to like take my finger off the thumbstick and like start pushing it forwards again. If that makes sense? Like he just stops. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. These are going to be the people looking for cryptids. How much you want to bet?
Go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the
To
cryptozoologist.
what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The water lock's been fixed. It was fine when I
Oh,
crossed
good.
it.
We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary! We can go soon! If you see
Jesus.
Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the
For
wind.
all his passion, this man is diligent and patient. You could learn things from him.
I'm looking for a suspect. Have you seen a woman with red hair who seemed to be on the run?
I'm afraid not, officer. I've been busy digging around in the reeds for days, looking for signs of insect activity. I'm less interested in mammalian concerns, to be perfectly honest.
The lieutenant takes a short note in his notebook, then gestures for you to proceed.
Tell me about this phasmid that you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to
Good
find?
question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists in our present case.
What sorts of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide
It's
itself?
my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
How big is this
I'm
phasmid?
expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodeozoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you.
Seems puny, to be honest.
Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for.
He flashes you a sideways
Even
smile.
simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his
Would
head.
be glory itself.
What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found
Not
one?
yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback
By
by
which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
it. He says, gathering himself. Lena says, said that there's been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He shakes his head vigorously. Parthenogenesis?
Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
That's pretty clever.
Yes. The Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Tell me more about your traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
He points to the cage of mesh and wiring on the ground. Lena designed the traps?
Yes.
He says with some pride. How do the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
A carnivorous stick insect? Seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Not a big fan of skepticism, this one.
What will you do if these traps don't
They'll
work?
work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Let me ask you something else.
What?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
You look south where Lena
Come
would
on,
be.
Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted the phasmid? She didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs and then continues.
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough into his fist this time. Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check the traps later?
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
What if we check the traps for
I
you?
didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
I am all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked.
Caught the bug, I see. It's easier to get caught up in the search than you'd imagine.
My partner was joking. We are on a search of our own. It wouldn't hurt to check the reeds while we were at it. I assume that's what we'll be doing.
He says unsure of himself.
Oh yes, officer. Very much so. The traps are all in the reeds. That is where we expect the phasmid to prowl.
Where are the
There
traps?
are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them,
He gestures to the trap.
you should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
And what if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
He takes out a small white spray
Did you hear
can.
that? Pheromones. You were right about the teenagers.
So it really was the phasmid that made the teenagers make out.
I doubt there is any connection there. Anyway, these pheromones will attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Should last you about a week.
Lay it on me, thick. He douses you with the odd-smelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, and then gives you a satisfied
This
nod.
is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the lieutenant with disdain and then puts the spray can back in his pocket. I'm ready, let's get to it.
Which means you two can pack up and go back to the boiling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
How did you become a
I've
cryptozoologist?
just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
He seems reluctant to talk about himself, but he'll open up, if you prod a little.
So you're living your childhood dream out here?
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
His eyes narrow. Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Your nerve endings tell you there is no such thing as a positive surprise.
Life surprises are mostly miserable.
Agreed. Yet there is always a chance, albeit a small one, of a truly good surprise. One simply needs to look at the history of science. Serendipities abound.
Has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
What kinds of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
You think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
So have you never discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been
Of
found?
the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven real?
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Hugo Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves, more so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
And the Insulindian phasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed. If our
He does not
expedition
smile.
is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing. He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Alright, thanks for explaining that. Now, about something else.
Yes?
Let's talk about specific
All right.
cryptids.
What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it, since you've offered to help. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena, or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
Which cryptid did you almost catch? You said before that you almost
A
caught
willow
one.
person. It's a long story. One non-specialists would find rather dull.
Willow people? Not at all.
What are willow
They're
people?
not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
He says it in a self-explanatory, everyday
They're
manner.
very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Wait, so I may have seen these willow people without even knowing it?
You probably have.
How'd you almost catch a willow person?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove. I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone than to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
And Lena's sighting of the phasmid is
confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
I know about the most dangerous cryptid, the Gnome of Jeroma.
Formerly the most dangerous, yes. But do you know the most dangerous living cryptid?
He doesn't want to make it feel like you knowing it is some big deal.
Living? No.
The most dangerous cryptid is a carnivorous ruminant, known colloquially as the dread moose.
The dread moose?
Yes. The dread moose subsists entirely on flesh. It has even been known to dig up fresh graves in search of sustenance.
Hold on, does it also attack
Human
people?
remains have been found deep in the forest, torn apart, then trampled into the mulch by large hooves. Infer from that what you will.
Okay, what does this dread moose look like?
Just like an ordinary ardent moose.
Then how can you tell if it's the ordinary or the dread
You
kind?
can't. That's what makes it so dreadful and hard to identify.
A moose that looks like any other moose. What's going on here? He's kidding, right?
I'm not completely sure. No, I'm 100% behind the dread moose. I utterly believe it
Of course
exists.
you do.
The bodies found in the forest are just one piece of physical evidence. There's more. Sightings in Vasa, reaching back 4 centuries. But, of course, nothing satiates the skepticism of.
A detective. Pardon me, I did not wish to seek conflict. It's simply my training to question things.
Understood, Lieutenant.
I know the biggest cryptid, the giant of
That's
Coconur.
impressive, I guess. But have you seen it with your own eyes?
No.
Of course you haven't.
He seems satisfied. Have you
I
seen
haven't
it?
had a chance to travel to Coco Nord. No. And I likely never will. The Samaskill desert region has been embroiled in a small civil war for the last 8 years. I fear this mindless barbarism may have wiped out the elusive creature entirely. Sightings of towering luminosities have grown rare recently, while they once used to be constant.
Yes, sightings of mirages are constant. A mirage is a constant phenomenon that people have no time to report when a war is going on. It remains unclear what this has got to do with you seeing it, as he was inquiring before. He was just being defensive.
I know about Cryobacter catlensis.
Everyone knows about that one, thanks to Professor Mijanu being the talk of the town for a time.
He coughs in
A
his
bit of
fist.
jealousy there. He'd want that glory, truth be told, even if he'd have to inject himself with bacteria to get it.
Although, probably because her life ended as a result of her work in Gutler, no one remembers her contributions to the search for the Nong-Ok. A
Nong-Ok?
flightless cursor owl found in the Seminine Isles. Its long legs permit the Nong-Ok to run faster than any other avian, perhaps any other animal, who knows? When it's not hunting its prey in this manner, the Ok hangs from tree branches, like a bat, waiting to dive on hapless prey below on the jungle floor. Mijanu liked extreme animals, you see. One of the few figures of the academic establishment I respect. Really a shame she disappeared.
When did she disappear?
Oh, decades ago. In the 30s. I didn't know her personally, of course. The chasm of academic pretension still stood before us, even though she had unusual courage for someone from the other side.
Alright, just tell me about a cool cryptid. Any cryptid.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories.
I already did.
Me? I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good lecturer. My strength lies in field work and persistence.
He brushes an errant strand of hair from his eye. Alright, enough tales then.
By all means.
Alright, let's get going. Oakley dokley. Well, I think this is a good enough spot. I gotta move on with my day, so I'm gonna be calling it. I could push on a little bit further, but I don't want to get caught up doing anything in the middle, or I want to be caught in the middle of doing anything because here in about an hour or so, me and my girl are gonna meet up and go out and walk around the woods a little bit. And that's way more important, so, yeah. But for the rest of the week, tomorrow night we're gonna be doing a late night horror stream with Evil Within. Same with Wednesday and Thursday night. Tomorrow night's probably gonna be around 10 o'clock, 10:30 maybe. Wednesday probably around 11, maybe a little bit after. Thursday will be closer to the same time that we were doing it on Tuesday, so 10 o'clock or so. And then Friday and Saturdays, same as usual, From Soft Friday, and then Souls Like Saturday with Elden Ring and Lies of P. I'm really enjoying this, though. I'm glad that I got the chance to play it a little bit this week, because I messed up. I'm enjoying all the different types of games that I've been playing. This is definitely a type of game that I've never really played before. I don't know. It's definitely really unique. I'm not looking forward to telling the working class wife about her husband. I think that's probably going to be something we do on the next game day. So next time we play this, I'm going to try to go back to the church probably and see if there's anything else to be said to the people there before the well, it says that most people settled for bed after 9 o'clock or not long after. So I don't know who's going to be up, but we'll check out the church before we go back to the Whirling and Rags and like other places, but we might wander around a little bit. We've never really wandered around at nighttime. We've just kind of like gone to bed. So maybe we'll check out a couple of different places before we end this game day next time. But yeah, that's the plan. And yeah, I guess that's it. So if there's anybody lurking, thanks for hanging out. I hope it was entertaining for you. And I appreciate you being here. And I hope hope to see you again sometime. This has been A Boy Named Sue, coming at you live straight from Baked Potato, and I'll see you around.